What's going on, Maz Gang?
Hey guys.
My name is Brian. This is my husband,
Alec.
And we are Meetthemazelins, for those who don't know. Today, we have something special for you guys. We put out a Q&A, like asked you guys to ask us questions, and you guys definitely delivered.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I have to give it up to you guys because I feel like we didn't expect to like get responses so quickly. Today is Saturday and we only put out this on Thursday. We only put it out to our audience on Thursday. Just ask us a few questions. We wanted to do a Q&A. We haven't done a Q&A now for a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, when we did our last one, we hadn't reached 10K subscribers yet. So we've...
Really?
Yeah, we hadn't reached 10K. So we have a whole lot of new family here. And I know many of you may have gone back and watched the old videos, but we thought, hey, let's put it out there. Let's see what new questions we would get. And to be honest, I feel like we thought we were going to get a lot of the generic questions or like questions that we had been asked before. You guys made a liar out of us.
Yeah. You guys came with some really good ones. Some of you had several questions that you guys wanted to ask.
And then several good ones at that.
Like they were good questions.
And I must say, like, apologies in advance to anybody whose question we weren't able to answer. We were asked more than 100 questions within a 24-hour time span between Instagram and YouTube. So thank you for the questions. But we tried to condense them as much as possible because we did get some repeat questions. And then we tried to make sure that anything we were answering, that it was something new. But we are hoping to have fun today. We have our drinks on deck, which we also have not done that in a little while.
Yeah.
So if you guys need to go and get your drinks, pause the video right here, run to the kitchen, grab a drink so that you can have some fun with us. And
cheers.
Cheers to that.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, so we're going to alternate the questions?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I'll start. All right, the first question is, if you could take a pill that would make you 100% straight, would you take it?
Who got answer first, me or you?
If I ask you, answer.
Okay. As tempting as most people might think that it is, my answer is no. Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like us as gay people, like just a community in general, we are some beautiful people.
Yes.
Like, we are dynamic, we are resourceful, and I feel like because many of us didn't have life the way that we would have hoped or expected, like it taught us some lessons that I feel like I wouldn't have learned as quickly if it is that
you were straight.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we are beautiful unicorns, and we provide so much to the world that the world may not want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
But we are some damn good people, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I wouldn't be with my husband if I was straight. Yeah.
Yeah, so we wouldn't take the pill. Give it to somebody else, girl.
Yeah.
All right. Will you ever move back out of the country? I guess for you it would be move out of the country. For me, move back out of the country.
Actually, yes. We actually were just talking about this the other day.
He asked me like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I asked him if he would retire back in Jamaica, and he said yes. So if, like, when that time comes, I will 100% be open to moving either to Jamaica with him or somewhere else. When I retire, I do not want to retire in the United States of America. This place is really showing its ass right now, and I don't know that I would want to, like, end my days here. If that makes sense, you know?
I get it. For me, it is conditional. So, of course, it would have to be somewhere where I don't feel like we have to compromise anything. Like, I don't want to compromise the comfort of our everyday life. So, if it is that by the time we retire, which is a good 30 years, 25 years from now, if it is that it's a place that's not inclusive or that we feel safe, then no, I wouldn't leave. But always open. Like, a dream of ours very early on was to have like different places that we could go to, because we connected via the love of travel and like different cultures. So I would definitely be open, but to where it doesn't necessarily have to be Jamaica for me. Yeah, but definitely open.
Okay. All right. Where else would you guys live besides Florida? We got this question a lot.
Yeah,
guys.
like probably like 6, 7, 8 times.
Yeah, we got this a lot. So they asked for a short list. At least somebody else who asked. They asked if we had a short list. I would say if we had a place, number one, drum roll, would probably be like the DMV area, because we really did enjoy our trip to
DC,
Yeah, to
but we
DC.
stayed in Virginia, which we really enjoyed. Virginia, it was close enough to DC that we could pop in and out however it is that we wanted. Like us here in Orlando currently, we're really 20-30 minutes outside of the city, so we're already used to having to
drive to get like a good distance to get to where we want to go. We also drove into Maryland. We went to Baltimore. We did drive over the Baltimore Bridge that just fell. So
condolences to everybody
rest
there.
in peace to those who did lose their life in that. But yeah, that would be one. Where's another place? Well, that's actually 3.
3 options.
Right. Where else, babe?
I know New York is not on the list for either of us.
No.
We're also like, we've talked about somewhere new just because a lot of our friends have also talked about it, but maybe giving Houston a chance.
Yeah, we'd have to take a trip there. I used to go to Houston a lot, like when I first started working at the airline. So the part of Houston that I was in was next to the airport, so I didn't really see much and I didn't really get to like it. The one time I did go was with Vic, but it was during COVID, or like right before or after COVID, so we didn't do anything. So I never really got a good experience of Texas. We did the same thing in Dallas and I was not thrilled. Not saying that it's not a good place, I just didn't have the fun that I was expecting to have.
And then I think third, of course, Atlanta is a consideration as well.
Yeah.
We have developed friendships there, and he already has pre-existing relationships with people there. And yeah, it also does feel comfortable. So yeah, I would say those 3 areas.
5-ish.
They're all considerations. All right, I know you guys love RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, we do. Have you guys ever thought about doing drag just for fun?
Yeah. Like if there were ever a situation where, like we did a wig brunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a form of drag.
Yeah, and I think Brian and I took it the most serious. Like we wanted
did.
to have like sickening hair. I think if either of us knew how to do makeup,
we probably would have
at least tried too. And So definitely on propose, like I have no interest in being a drag queen, but I would definitely do it for fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Did either of you go to college? If so, what did you major in? And are you beginning the college talk with BJ?
Okay, well, I went to community college first, Montego Bay Community College. I think it's been renamed since then, showing my age. And then University of the West Indies, UA Mona campus, which was in Kingston. I majored in management studies with a specialty in marketing. Of course, marketing back then was not social media or digital marketing the way that it is now. But yeah, that's my history with school.
Mine is, I started out in Tampa. I went to Hillsborough Community College, and then I transferred to Orlando and went to Valencia Community College, and I went to UCF for a little bit. My major was business admin with business management, and then I specialize in real estate as well. The second part of the question was if we've had the college talk with BJ, and we have, and I don't really know what he wants to do.
Yeah. I feel like we just got a confirmation of, yes, I want to go to college, but it just didn't really go past that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about like, what are the careers that you want to get into? And I think that, and it's so funny that I think we're looking for a solid answer. But in this day and age, like, I don't even want to say kids, people can really turn any of their passions into a profession these days.
Yep.
So I don't even want to be restrictive, but at the same time, it's like the responsible parent part of me is like,
you gotta have a plan.
Yeah, you need to finish school and you need to like at least
know what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, and find things that can lead you in that direction of securing the future.
Yeah.
You know?
I find it's kind of like how when we were growing up, our parents wanted us to do a certain thing to guarantee a certain, I guess, way of life. It's the same thing for BJ. Like, the way he's growing up is completely different from the way that we did.
Yeah.
Because it's a different time. They have access to different things. So what's important to me, or what was important to us back then, is no longer valid. It's not even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? So it's for him to figure out. We will help him and guide him the best way we can. But yes, we have had to talk with him.
Yeah, okay. He's a whole teenager now.
Yeah, see, I got a teenager.
So that time is coming up quick.
Yeah, okay.
What is your view on public gay affection? So I'm guessing like this is our like own personal view. Like, how do we feel about it?
About gay affection
Yeah.
in public? Like PDA?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I like when we first started and we started to vlog, there was one where he was here for a little bit and he had to go back to Jamaica for the first time. I don't have a problem kissing him in public, but he was a little apprehensive. So I kissed him before he boarded the flight, and he was like a deer in headlights type situation.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also considering that I am coming from Jamaica, going on a plane with all Jamaicans for the most part, going back home, you know? So for me, it's something that's ingrained in me. And I feel like to this day, I still do have some reservations. And it's not that I feel uncomfortable or as uncomfortable doing it. It's more so I don't default to that. It's almost like the minute that I'm out in public, I kind of naturally default to being less affectionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that because it comes from a place of not wanting to shake the table or like piss off somebody stupid and have to like get ugly with people. I get that, but I think, you know, I'm a little past that. Yeah. But I completely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, so I still feel like we're at two different places, even though I feel like I've grown a whole lot in that regard. And for me, it's not like, before it used to be something that would give me anxiety, or it'd be like very, very conscious at the forefront of my mind, like, you know, don't do this, don't touch, or now I don't have that feeling of, oh, don't touch, can't hug you or whatever, but you still don't see me like dive in to kiss you in public. If you're kissing me, then like I'm not gonna stop it, you know? But yeah, I've grown and still have some growing left to do, I suppose.
You feel like I'm beating you up?
No.
Okay. All right. Who's the tightest when it comes to spending money?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'll spend it. Like I mean, I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. For me, I feel like I'm the one that is very conscious of everything that I spend. I'm all about a budget. I'm all about us having a budget, and like anything monetary, it's like if we can work it out before we go and do it, let us do it. And I try and do things at like worst case scenario to also account for potential miscellaneous expenses. Yeah, because if there's one thing I don't like is finding myself in like any kind of financial trouble. I've experienced it before, and it's a place that I never want to be back in. I think also because I do have that banking background, like I've seen how bad things can get for other people. And it's one of those things where certain lessons I feel like I don't need to learn myself.
Yeah. I think mine comes with having been by myself for so long. Up until I was 33, I did it all on my own. And I was not one to budget. I was not one to like be strict on what I could and couldn't buy. But all my bills got paid and I was able to do what I wanted to do. So that's what I was used to doing. But I mean, for the sake of our marriage, like I do have to be cognizant of what I spend. I have a partner here that I have to like pass things through. So yeah, but I don't mind it. It's all good.
Okay. All right, Brian, did you ever get used to giving yourself your shot? Just to give a little background, Brian does suffer from Crohn's disease, and so he takes, is it monthly?
Every 56 days.
Okay, every 56 days he has to take a shot as his treatment. Continuing the question, I started Humira and I'm trying to get used to doing it for RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis.
No. No, I still have not gotten used to it. Once you do it, honestly, it doesn't hurt. Like once the needle's in there, it's totally fine. I just have a fear of needles, so that's the hard part. And I'm not on Humira, but Humira was easier for me because I didn't have to like
actually place the needle.
Yeah, I didn't. I just put the tube on my stomach and press the button.
Yeah, it was like an EpiPen where it's just like one of those all-in-one things, and you just press the button and it releases. But now he has to like actually self-administer.
Yeah, and like take my time and like rub it out in some like it's a very weird situation. So no, I haven't.
Yeah, and just to point out as well, Shirley, we did see that you wanted a full-length video on this, because surprisingly enough, like we've even had one of our neighbors come up to us and say that Crohn's was something that they just recently learned about, and from watching our video, they had like more questions that followed as well. So we fully intend on like doing a longer sit down about his experience, because you asked some like amazing questions that I think would really further this conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Who annoys who more?
I personally feel like I annoy you more.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because I feel like I am just ridiculous. Like sometimes some of the things that I do, I laugh at myself. And I'm like, Alec, you're so dumb. But I'm like always like trying to put things in your ears and, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like you're matching my energy, but I feel like I'm the one that
starts it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that does not annoy me at all.
Yeah.
I actually really love that we can be stupid together. You know, like I like that goofiness that we have, that we share. So I don't know that there's an answer to this question because you don't annoy me.
Okay, that's good to know.
Do I annoy you at all?
No, I think it's situational. I can't say you annoy me, you know, and I think that that's fair. I'm sure there are times where I've annoyed you.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's situational. I wouldn't say that you're annoying or...
Yeah. I get it.
It's situational for me.
Okay.
How is it being recognized from YouTube? And thanks for being such role models, not only for the community, but as Black men, Black parents, and great human beings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First off.
For sure.
Yeah. How is it being recognized?
I love it. But it also freaks me out sometimes because like it depends on how we're being approached. I've been approached negatively and positively, more positive than negative. But like for example, if you're walking down somewhere and they just come out of nowhere and they're like excited, you don't know what the intentions are. Like you don't know if they are angry or if they, feel away or if they're happy. So it takes me a while. If you do come to me and I'm a little standoffish initially, I got to figure out if this is a happy high or like a, you want to cuss me out type of situation. But I do like the attention. I'm not going to lie.
I think for me, the difference for me is where it happens. Like if I'm in Jamaica, then I kind of default to so like it's probably negative first. When I'm in Jamaica, I'm like literally head on swivel.
Same.
All the time. So if I see somebody coming up, it's like I'm very, very ready. But to be honest, I've gotten mostly positive feedback the entirety of the time for a journey. It feels amazing because when I tell you some of the words that people have told us and like just the times that we've had people like be so kind, like whether offer us a drink or like we've been in a space by ourselves and like they really make us feel so comfortable. I kind of feel bad sometimes though, is because when they come up and they're like, oh my god, sometimes I don't know what to say. Like I'll ask your name and from there it's like I don't know what else to say because you kind of know a lot about me, but then we don't know like how to further the conversation. So it's something that we're working on, and by all means, like if you do see us out, come and tell us hi. Like we are completely okay with like shake our hands, hug, anything. It's like we truly, especially from me, like I remember the names in the comments and stuff like that. So if you even tell me what your name is on YouTube, then it makes me feel more at ease because I remember a lot of the details about some of these people from the comments. But I love it. Please continue. Continue.
All right. Growing up, I was always told that it was a sin to be gay. But now that I'm grown, I believe that God knew me before I knew myself. As long as I lead with grace, passion, and humanity, I'll be fine. Do you believe that being gay is a sin? If you go according to the Bible, it is. Do I believe so? No. Like, somebody said it earlier. Well, he said it. He feels like God knew him before he knew himself, which is factual according to the Bible. So, God don't make no mistakes. He created me.
I mean, even in you saying that if you go according to the Bible, that it is a sin, I disagree. The Bible, one, is written by men. And then two, it depends on what version of the Bible that you're reading, because there are different versions. Putting that out there. And then it's also a book that is up to interpretation. And the interpretation of it in its original form to being translated to English, several things have changed. So me personally, you answer the question the best way. At the end of the day, to me, if I lead my life with a strong moral code, that to me is the most important thing. At the end of the day, according to the scripture, who is it that's supposed to judge? God. But yet everybody else does it here. So in the same way that I am a sinner, everybody else that's out there is judging me is also a sinner. So it's equal playing field. If it's not one thing, it's the other. So why hate? Just leave it to the man up above.
Period.
What shows are you guys watching right now? And did you watch the Nickelodeon documentary?
I absolutely did watch the Nickelodeon documentary, and it was really sad to hear some of the things that those kids went through. It's not okay. And I mean, with the Diddy stuff going on and all of that, like apparently Hollywood is heavy in the pedophilia. So yes, it's extremely crazy that all of that is happening. What we're currently watching, we just finished today, Apples That Fall.
Yeah, Apples That Fall. That's with Annette Bening. It's on Peacock.
Yeah, it's on Peacock, and it's a star-studded cast. It was actually pretty good. What else? We were watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the world. But
I mean, so honestly, I feel like Drag Race is something that we watch throughout the year, and whatever season is out, we'll watch it. But to be honest, like other like series, we haven't found a lot of series recently. I feel like a lot of the shows we were watching, they just ended recently. So we're kind of looking for things. So if you guys have recommendations, please feel free to drop them in the comments. We're watching like our regular reality TV stuff. So Housewives is only one episode, or just the reunion left of that. But other than that, Amazing Race for both of us, Survivor for me, Top Chef for me, The Voice for me.
He watches a lot of TV.
Like I'll just have it playing in the background. But yeah, that's what we're watching. Okay. What's the least gay-friendly destination you've been to, and how did you guys manage?
That's a tough one. The least gay friendly, I would have to say, would be Jamaica. But I've never experienced any kind of homophobic behavior. So I just know not to do certain things there. But I haven't had like a bad experience or anything like that.
And when you did have a bad experience, you did have it with a Jamaican, but not while in Jamaica.
It was in the US.
Yeah. So I think if we're answering that question together, then by default it would have to be Jamaica. And the only reason I feel like we even have had any semblance of a bad experience is because our story is somewhat known there. For all the other places, we've only been there for like 24 hours, maybe max 3 days. So I feel like we haven't been anywhere long enough to kind of get a bad experience, because when we're out in general, and I think this is just advice to any queer traveler at all, like my default is to not kiss him in public, depending on where we're at, especially if it is that you've researched and you kind of know the law of the land. So I think that that's a very important thing when it is that you're traveling as a queer person. But if I had to choose a country myself where it is that I've experienced that, for me it would be Grenada.
Really? Is that what the kid called you?
Call me Bulla Man in the store, and then his mom was like pulling him away from me. And it was also one of the only places that, like, walking down the street as a visitor, I had where it is that I could hear remarks or and I mean, I was in a pretty touristy area, so I can only imagine, like, if I was you know, out in the city, that it would be probably worse.
Wow. Okay. What is the significance of the 3 kisses? There isn't any.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like it's one of those things where I don't remember the first time we did it. I think the first time we kissed, we probably even kissed more than once, like just on the lips, and we kind of just rounded it up to 3. And it just became a thing, and it has just stuck since.
Yeah.
All right. What has been your favorite vacation and least favorite vacation as a couple so far? And where do you plan to go next? A popular question as well was like, what was our favorite 24-hour trip? Because we haven't had that many vacations. It has really been more 24-hour trips. So I guess you can say, what was your just favorite long trip, short trip, and then least favorite?
Okay. We've really been to a lot of places, so I gotta
think about this. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
So my favorite vacation, so this would be a long trip now, would be your birthday in Jamaica before we started YouTube.
Okay.
That's hands down my favorite. It was us and 8 of your friends. Was it 10 of us in total?
5 rooms, 10 in total.
Yeah, so 8 friends.
Yeah.
So it was 10 of us. They came to Jamaica during 2021 when Jamaica was still kind of on lockdown. We rented a villa.
Kinda.
Yeah, we were still very much on lockdown. Like, you had to be off the road by 4 p.m.
Yeah.
But we stayed at a villa that had everything. The villa was absolutely beautiful.
We had a chef, a chauffeur.
And then I cooked on the days when it is that we didn't have the chef. And I was able to just share my culture with everybody, which was so amazing. And I think it's one of those trips that it really gave us a reputation of being the couple that plans stuff. That trip was amazing. And then even after the villa, when they left, we went to a hotel after for 2 nights, and that in itself, guys, sorry, technical difficulties. But yeah, after that we went to a hotel as well, which we spent 2 additional days, and we just had alone time. So overall, I think that trip was my favorite long trip. Favorite short trip, funny enough, is our most recent one, which is the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So for me, it was just the most memorable one. And then so much happened within the 24 hours. And to be honest, we never even used 24 hours. We were only out for like 8 hours, if even so much. So we just packed so much into a short period of time. And as much as everything didn't necessarily go our way, I laughed so much during that trip that it's one that I'll never forget.
Okay. You have a least favorite?
Least favorite, hands down, Salt Lake City.
Dang, you took mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City is my least favorite by far.
Yeah.
I don't even have anything else to say because we experienced legit nothing.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, my favorite long was also my birthday. That was the first time. What?
nothing. Talk there, so.
It was mine because this was the first time he was actually able to be around all of my friends. And what a way to do it. Stick him in the house for 5 days and figure out how it works out. But it was amazing. Babe really did his big one. So that was my favorite long. Favorite short? Louisville. My favorite short was Louisville. That's because it had good food. We actually covered a lot, and I had good coworkers with me that time.
Yeah, so I think, if I'm thinking about that part, like having the coworkers there definitely helped because you had two that you were friends with, and then the other guy was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, so that was a good trip too.
Yeah.
By video views, that clearly was one of the more enjoyed ones too.
Yeah, I mean we did a lot. So you guys should check it out. It was a good time.
Louisville. Making sure I get it correct.
Yes, Louisville.
Least favorite?
Indianapolis.
Really? You hated that more than Salt Lake City?
I didn't want to use yours because I felt like that's what that's the shade you just shot me a while ago. But Indianapolis was probably just as bad as Salt Lake because it really was nothing. I mean, we went and got sugar pie and saw Indy 500. It was better than Salt Lake.
It was.
Yeah.
It definitely was. And then the place that we ate, the food was decent at least.
I mean, it was
very standard.
Yeah, very
but
standard.
at least it was open.
Yeah, you're right.
At least it was open. Okay. But okay, fair enough. Alec, what was your transition like after you moved to the US? How has your whole immigration process been? First off, asking how has the whole immigration process been? We are still going through it.
Yeah, triggering.
Yeah, so we have not completed it, so I cannot answer that part of the question. How was your transition? In the beginning, it started off very good. Like, the best way to sum it up, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. When I just came, like, it was wonderful to be with each other. I slept for like 3 weeks, it feels like, because like I was just so tired. And when I say tired, like tired of the life I was living, tired of the job that I had when I was back in Jamaica. And so when I came here, like, I just got so much rest. And then we had like so much fun the first few months, like knowing I didn't have to go back. But then, I mean, of course, we got married very soon after. Yeah. So that was amazing. Directly after now, he ended up in the hospital literally a month after we got married. Yeah. And then after that, certain things at home started going wrong. So we had some, I don't even want to say family drama, but I don't know what else to say. We had some family issues back home and I just felt stuck here. Then I had to deal with my money is dwindling. Friends, I'm not seeing any of them. I was home, he was going to work. So I was just in this routine of just being home, cooking, cleaning, that's it. Because I'm making no money, so I didn't know what other way to contribute. And I'm one of those people where I kind of associate my own value with what it is that I'm able to provide. I'm used to being a provider. So that was a tough transition for me. To be honest, I feel like I was in that depressive state for a long time. And it snowballed into weight gain, into anxiety issues. Like, even through the immigration process, I stopped. I would have so much anxiety just being in a line. Because when I would come in, whenever it is that I would travel, they would go and bring me to secondary questioning, and just the way that they were questioning made me so nervous. So the transition for all of the things that you think about in terms of being able to be free and be able to live my best gay life and like to be here and have family and have my husband, that was amazing. But there were a whole lot more things that I didn't prepare for, and I think that's what made the situation hard. But I think now I have control of my life, control of my happiness. And that's greatly in part to the community of people that I have around me. So now everything is good, and I'm just ready to unlock the best chapters of my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You had another one. What was the experience like traveling back on advanced parole?
So I've done it a couple times now. First time, when it is that I was coming back, the person that was assisting me in the line didn't even know what it was. And she was kind of just like, I don't know where you think you're going with this. But she spoke to her supervisor, and then leaving Jamaica was absolutely no issue. Coming into the US now, they asked me quite a few questions when it is that you're coming to go through immigration, and then they put me in secondary. And being in secondary now, that's where you see all the people who are trying to smuggle things into the country. Yeah. Whenever it is that they're deporting people, that's where it is that it happens. So you're seeing all of those cases happen real time being in secondary. And for me, I just sit there, they go through my documents, and whenever they call me, I've just been released. Very few times have I been asked additional questions there. So to be quite honest, it's just inconvenient because it adds an hour sometimes to the time me coming in.
Yeah, I think it depends on
which port
you're coming into.
But other than that, traveling on advanced parole hasn't been an issue. I just always make sure I have all my documents. I don't ever take them out of that envelope. I know anytime I'm traveling, I just bring that envelope with me. So once you're organized, then it should be a breeze. Okay, how do you handle disagreements and arguments?
How do you handle them? How do we handle them?
Yeah, I think a lot of people first off feel like we don't have disagreements and we don't argue. We do, just like any other couple. Yeah. Do I feel like in this relationship I argue much less than my past ones? Hell yes.
Same.
Yeah. I feel like there is such a level of respect between the two of us that we'll never call each other outside our names, only in joke. Never serious. Never serious. And we're also both the kind of people where when we're upset, we don't talk. Neither of us talks immediately when it is that we're upset.
Yeah. We both become very silent.
Yeah, we're ice out kind of people. And then like the day after or a couple hours after, or we'll be laying in the bed and you can just feel the tension, and then you just hear, "Are you sleeping?"
That's primarily me.
And that's when we have our discussion. So we talk through everything.
Yep. And it's very much no talking over each other. Like you say what you say, and then I say what I say. And then sometimes if it feels like it's too heated, I feel like one of us defaults to just be like, okay. And we kind of table it. And then 2 days later, you realize, no, I'm not done. Yeah.
So we're going to rehash this and we're going to see it through to the end. Yeah, so I think we found a healthy way to deal with conflict. And yeah, I'm proud of us for that.
Good job, babe. All right. Would you say that the honeymoon phase of the marriage has passed, or are you still living in it? You want me to answer? Or
you can go ahead.
So, I would say that shortly after we got married, he did go through a slight bit of a depression because everything that he just explained a couple questions up happened immediately after we got married. So the honeymoon phase, I don't know that we really got one. However, it was never different from our original
feeling. It was never us. It was never our connection that was the issue.
It was everything outside of that caused a lot of the issues. So to me, I still feel like I guess I can say I still feel like I'm in a honeymoon phase because this is the best relationship that I've ever been in. So yeah, to me, we are.
Okay. I mean, yeah, for me, I feel like if I were to think of a honeymoon phase, it would be when I quit my job and like I was traveling back and forth. That year of like traveling back and forth, that to me felt like the most honeymoon phase of like a relationship, I would say. I don't feel like that changed because of marriage.
Yeah.
I think our first year marriage was tough. And as I said, not because of connection. We were poor. When I tell you broke AF.
Oh my gosh. Me not working those couple, like being sick in the hospital caused a lot of strife. And then having to pay for the immigration things.
And not only pay for it, but knowing that what should have taken me like 3 months after we got married took 9. Yeah. So those 6 months of extra time completely wiped out any kind of savings that I had.
Right.
So
because he wasn't able to work without the
work permit.
Right.
And then I still had expenses back in Jamaica. So I was literally bleeding from every end.
Yeah.
From every end. So that first year marriage was tough, but at the end of the day, like the foundation, us, like so happy that we still had that. Yeah. All right. What problems have you run into as a vlogging couple, and what advice would you give the new couple? So I remember that this is from Kervin and Warren. Yeah. So they just recently started their YouTube channel, and we connected with them via Instagram.
Okay. Some of the issues that we've come into is that the disagreement on content, how far to push it,
how much to share.
Yeah. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants type of guy. What you get is what you see is what you get, and I have a little less of a filter than Alec does, and sometimes I feel, well, not anymore, not recently, but I felt silenced. Like I couldn't say what I wanted to say, or I couldn't talk about what I wanted to talk about because it might be too controversial. That was one of the biggest issues that we were having when we first started blogging or doing sit downs. Advice to you: don't take it too serious. Like, still know that this is your partner. At the end of the day, when those cameras shut off, you still have to be with this person. So don't ever let it come between that.
Yeah, I think in that same vein, I would say don't sacrifice your relationship for the sake of views or for a video.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, remember that as a vlogging couple, you're trying to share your love with the world. The minute that the vlogging starts interrupting with your relationship, dial it back, figure out what that is, and figure out if vlogging is really for you.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Second thing, don't take on more than you can manage. When it is that we started weekly, and then people started asking for, can we get it at least twice a week or 3 times a week? Yeah. We started doing it twice a week, and then we started running out of things to do. We started spending money unnecessarily trying to find new things to do.
Yep.
And then it just became so much pressure on both of us. And those kinds of things started like spurring arguments as well.
Yeah.
And again, like if it is going to cause you more stress than it is enjoyment, then chop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, I would say be consistent, have fun. The audience can tell when it is that you're enjoying the content that you're putting out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because they will tell you in the comments if they feel that you are not. Go ahead.
What advice would you give to a couple dating long distance? Well, I would say find as many ways, like cute ways, to include your partner in your life, even though they're not physically there. So whenever, outside of just checking in when I would go out to do something, I would actually buy bring a piece of whatever outing or trip that I went on. So whenever next we saw each other, like I would have gifts to give him, which would be like, I know you couldn't come on this experience with me, but here is a piece of it as well. And I feel like that was kind of a cute way to stay connected and like have more to talk about when we were physically in each other's space.
For sure. I think you're just an amazing gift giver, because it's just in you to do that. I think communication has to be very strong. We talked every day, all day. Not saying that has to be your story, but you have to communicate, and you have to be honest about your feelings, about what it is that you want to do, what you feel that, you know what I mean? Like, honesty about everything. Because if it wasn't that for us, then I don't know that we would have made it to where we are now.
Yeah. And I would say the last thing, it's very important to have that conversation as to what's the end goal. And keep that as your North Star, and constantly remind yourselves about that end goal throughout the relationship, and make sure that you're consistently moving towards it. Yeah.
Okay. My turn? Okay. What's something that you both admired about the other while dating that you still admire? For me, I always felt like I was number one with Alec. There was never a time where I felt like I was in the way. You know what I mean? So, and to this day, I still feel that way. He does a very, very good job of making me feel important and making me feel valued. Like, he just loves me like I've never been loved before. Like, this man makes my lunch every day, and I don't think I say it enough how much I appreciate him for that. But, and not just that, but I know, it's the little things that I always feel like I would know what I would do without him, you know?
That's good to hear. No, and I mean, and that's part of what my answer would be, is that I've always felt seen, you know? And it isn't necessarily in words, but like through actions. Like I've always felt seen for who I am, seen for the effort that I put in to our relationship and our connection. And then the other thing that I value a whole lot is just how truthful you are and straightforward that you are with me, even when it is that it's something that can potentially hurt. Like, and I know that it's in my best interest. Like, he'll tell me the things that I need to hear, and I'm a little stubborn, so sometimes it takes some time to set in. But stop it. But yeah, like for example, like, he'll always tell me from early on, like, you allow people to get too much out of you, like, you allow people to use you. And there has been times when I really realized that myself, but I'm so concerned about how to cut something off to not hurt someone's feelings or whatever it is. And you know, I've realized that sometimes you kind of need to look out for you and look out for the people that are looking out for you, and let everybody else kind of fall to the wayside. So yeah, he really gives me that hard-hitting truth that sometimes I need to be able to grow as a person.
Oh.
Okay, so do you guys get hit on separately or together, and how does it make you feel?
Okay.
So I love this question. Like, this could have probably been a whole nother video because there is tea, but yes, we get hit on separately and together. I mean, even when our friend Ronald was here, there was this old man like killing Brian with singles, sending people over with singles to tip Brian. And like, he even asked, like, if we're together, you see me dancing on Brian, you see me kiss him, and this man is still sending over money. But I was like, send it, send more.
You see how you pimped me out, guys? Yeah, that was a very interesting situation. Like, and I felt really bad because I was standing right next to the go-go dancers. Instead of him tipping them, he's tipping
Brian.
Me. I'm like, I don't want to get put out of here. You know what I mean? But that was interesting.
Yeah, so that's one. Like, we've had some crazy things happen. Yeah. I think we both probably get like the messages. We don't even pay it any mind, you know? And then
you still get them?
Well, messages? I showed you the one the other day when somebody messaged me about if I want to get married.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So I was just like, what? I don't even bother. Like, I just read it and I leave it. But yeah, even when we're on our cruise for our anniversary, the guy that was following us around.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then Brian told him, like, oh, well, this is my husband and this is our first anniversary. And he's like, oh, your anniversary. Well, you guys, you want me to give you a gift? And we're like, what? Excuse me? And he's like, yeah, like...
He wanted to be our anniversary.
It's like, a bathroom is right there, you know, I could give you a gift. I'm just like, oh, okay.
No thanks. Not from him, no.
Yeah, but I mean, how does it make me feel? When I see people appreciating the beauty that is, I feel good because it makes me feel special that I'm the chosen one in that situation.
Same. I don't get jealous at all. It's actually reassuring. Like, yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
And you can admire him all you want, but he's coming home with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, your turn.
How was it adjusting from long distance to living together, and how's it different from then and now? It was an adjustment. Like I said earlier, I've been used to being on my own for so long and having things a certain way, being able to do things a certain way. And then once you start sharing a space with somebody, it kind of switches that up. It kind of turns it upside down. And then I also feel like it makes it harder when you guys aren't moving into a space together. When one has to move into your space, it makes it very uncomfortable. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it took us a little while to figure it out, but we figured it out.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it took too long.
No, I like, we're good now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ooh, this was the question we got the most. Have you guys changed your minds about expanding your family? You know, maybe we really have come around and want kids.
Please.
You couldn't play a little bit longer?
No. God bless those who have children, like the little ones now. I don't know that I have the patience to start completely over again. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, like I have had my handful of experiences being a parent. I enjoy it. It has pushed me to grow as well. And, you know, I am happy to see that my influence is being recognized by him as well and appreciated. But I think, yeah, we're good on the kids right now. We still are waiting to live like our best life together and for BJ.
Yeah.
So I think we need to see that through first. And at that time, to be honest, I feel we'll feel like our job was complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are we going to get a storyline or sit down about Brian's wicked 19-year-old self? Both 18 to 25 years. Yes, we will have to have a whole sit down about my 19th year of life. I went through a lot of things. Do I even give a prelude of what was going on? Like,
I mean, you guys can just know that something is coming.
Yeah. It was
Brian has had a very eventful life. And I think because he is like as quiet as he is, or seemingly quiet, that people don't know how deep your experiences have been, you know? But trust me, his life is very book or movie worthy.
You think so?
Yeah, especially 19. That's why the people remember. Why you think the person would remember still?
Yeah, 19 was a year, man.
All right. Well, we are finally at our last question. And the last one is there a meet and greet in the works?
Yeah. We did hear that a couple times, or we were asked that a couple times. And to be honest, it's been since we started, people have asked for a meet and greet. And we are pleased to say that we are planning one. Go ahead and take it over.
Okay. So, I mean, our issue has always been, where do we do it? How do we do it? Like, where do we get the space to do it? And I feel like we've kind of fallen into the answer. So, you know, we would have gone on our first cruise last year, which was with Virgin Voyages. It's the train. Which was with Virgin Voyages. And we enjoyed cruises so much. Both Brian and I have always enjoyed travel. And we decided to go on a little venture together and started our own business. We got certified as travel agents, which we did towards the end of 2023 / the beginning of 2024. So the name of our company is Wondersphere Travel.
Yeah.
And we will be accepting any bookings that people would like to do for Virgin Voyages cruises. Just starting with Virgin Voyages cruises. But for the meet and greet, we want to do a Meet the Mazelins at sea for our anniversary in 2025. So that's enough time for everybody to start saving a little coins and putting it to the side. What we'll also be doing, we will leave a link in the description box below, just to have like a little list or a little survey to capture email addresses. So if there's anybody out there who would like more information, both on Wondersphere Travel, as well as our group cruise that we want to do, Meet the Mazelins at Sea in 2025, then just click on the link, fill out the information there, and we'll be sure to keep you updated moving towards the date. It's something we're super excited about.
Yeah.
It truly is a passion of both of ours. And like, we just want to have a couple days at sea with people we know that love and support us so much.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get to see all the different sides of us.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a fun time. Hopefully you guys do too.
Yeah. And I mean, if hopefully, you know, everybody we hang around is able to come too.
Yeah.
So you'll see us in our natural habitat.
Yeah, so you'll see all the people that you
Yeah.
see as regulars on the videos. So yeah, it will be a fun time. So yeah, meet and greet in the works.
Yeah, it's in the
finally
works,
gonna
guys.
happen.
So that brought us to our last question.
Guys, thank you so much for submitting the questions. They were amazing. We had a fun time doing this video.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the vodka or if I just really enjoyed myself, but I'm glad I did this. It's been long overdue.
Yeah, long overdue. But if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please comment down below. Tell us the most surprising thing that you learned about us today. Or if you have additional questions, drop them in the comments and we'll try and answer there. Please share this video with somebody else who you know is just looking for a little bit of gay enjoyment. And then if you haven't already, do what?
Subscribe.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.